Okay, welcome. Come on in. Let's sit up front, please. We'll get started in a couple minutes. There's punch and cookies if you haven't found them already. We're getting into the festive mode. I didn't want to feed you too much today because tomorrow's a holiday luncheon. And I know that that's going to be a feast. So, and we're all watching our waists. Okay, so I'd like to get started. We have just a few items to cover, and I did give you the agenda. So I'm glad you're here, and I know it's a busy time of year. We're ending the year. I can't believe that the fall semester is ending. I don't know about you guys, or the year is ending. It just went by so fast, and I've been doing some reflection about the year, and I'm really excited about the fact that we are doing so well here at LA Mission College. The word I'm getting from external agencies and communities and district office and other campuses is that this campus is shining. So I want to thank each of you for contributing and supporting each other and committing yourself to each other to our greatness, because that's who we are. We're doing what we were supposed to do, what we want to do, and what we love to do, and that is serve our students and help them succeed. So I'm proud to be your president, and I just wanted to start out with that high note, because I think we should all give each other congratulations for a job well done, and we continue to do. So, thank you. I'll get emotional later, but. So we're going to talk first with about enrollment and for fall and spring and faculty hiring. I'm going to ask Vice President Michael Allen to give us that report.
Thank you, Dr. Perez. Well, I thought I would start with talking about our winter intersession. We're going to do another winter intersession, as you know, this year. Last winter, we had about 41 course sections. We did cut it down to about 28 this year, and that was just all about enrollment management and meeting our target with our growth, but not costing us too much money by exceeding our target. Right now, for winter 2015, we are at 99.75 capacity. We have one space left in History 12 and about 10 spaces left in Anthro 101. So for the counselors out there, it's Anthro 101 or nothing, all right? For the fall of 13, we had 642 sections. We did raise that to 682 sections this year. And again, for spring, we're looking at about 646 course sections, and that's up from 630 last year. The most important thing is that we need to keep our cost of instruction low. Because of the fact that we are in a growth mode in terms of enrollment, remember that also costs us more in terms of having to pay operations, not only the faculty and the staff, but also the building operations. And so, you know, winter intersession is great, but for example, we have to then open the library and we have to pay the librarians to support the students. So it's not just the course section. So as many students as we can possibly get into classrooms without compromising the quality of instruction is where we really need to try to go, so that we keep our cost of instruction low. We are doing the best in the district, and I'd like to keep it that way. And it only happens with the commitment of faculty and staff. So thank you so much. As for hiring, we have hired in culinary arts for a spring start. The finalist is actually in the process of getting cleared by district. We've also hired a full-time librarian, and that will be a spring start. From now until the summer of next year, we'll be in, well, no, excuse me, The deadline is March 30th, I believe. We will have, the chairs have a timeline in terms of our new hires for fall 2015, and we're going to be doing searches for biology, psychology, computer science, English, Spanish/foreign languages, and we'll have a spring start for theater arts. That's actually in the process. We also we're in the process of doing an English as well. So multimedia and cinema, thank you, is the other full-time position that will go out for a fall 15 start. We're also looking to hire a new director for the Child Development Center, and that will be a start as soon as we're able to hire. We're just working with district right now in terms of getting that position posted. Hopefully it'll be posted by the end of this week so we can stick with our timeline. Any questions? All right, thank you.
I might add also, we are hiring an articulation counselor and a general counselor. We also are going to be hiring for the Student Support Success or Student Success Support Program some counselors on a one-year assignment, annual assignment. So we're gearing up for that aspect too. So there will be other hiring going on, not just in terms of instructional, but the counseling faculty. And in addition, we're continuing to move in the direction of making sure we staff the Learning Resource Center. And I don't know if you've heard already, but we did hire our Dean of Student Success, Carlos Gonzalez. So we need to give him a hand. Now I'd like to talk about the status of accreditation. The co-chairs of our accreditation steering committee is Vice President Danny Villanueva and Professor Kelly Enos, but he could not join us today, so I've asked Danny if he'd take a few minutes to tell us where we are.
No problem. Good afternoon. Happy holiday. Everybody's on this side. How you doing? How's everybody going? Perez says we're here to serve students. Huh? It's like that Twilight Zone episode, huh? To serve man. Okay. Am I the only one that thought of that? Okay. And I'm not practicing for Ugly Sweater Day. My sweater's ripping and it got dirty, so I may keep this on for tomorrow. At the rate I'm going, it'll be all torn up and dirty. I'll win tomorrow's Ugly Sweater contest. The follow-up report to the 2013 report is coming along. Several members got together this Saturday and they worked on it. The follow-up report is scheduled to be submitted no later than January 28th to the Board of Trustees for approval, and then after that it'll go to ACCJC for a review of their March meeting. As you know, we're ending one, but we've also started a new self-study report that will be submitted next year. The self-study is on schedule. All of the teams have submitted something that Kelly and I are reviewing, and we'll be providing feedback. We still are looking for membership in some of the committees, so Kelly and I will put together a campus-wide email for that to get more participation where you can. We've had some people that committed, but because of extenuating circumstances, they weren't able to fulfill that commitment, but we're still looking for membership. ACCJC is going to be having a workshop that VP Allen, Dr. Perez, Kelly, and myself will be going in April to get some more information. Once we get that, we'll come back and report that to you. But however, prior to that, Robert Pacheco from Mira Costa College will be here for either late January, early February, where we're going to have an overview of what's going on and an update from their perspective. Many of you attended the November 18th ACCJC webinar that was done down at the East Campus. We're going to try to get that online if it's not already for you to view. Our next meeting, we're still meeting every other Wednesday, is scheduled for tomorrow. So if you want to attend, it's in Culinary Arts at 9 in the morning. So we encourage you to come. Once again, accreditation is critical. It's a priority of this chancellor. I think he's doing a good job in working with the presidents and everybody to express how he wants us to approach it and provide us full support. And we, in turn, appreciate everybody's support. Once again, while you may not necessarily be on a writing team, when an individual is on a writing team in your area, in your division, in your unit, in your curriculum, you simply help out by picking up the load that they may be leaving there while they're not there to do certain things. So we all contribute to accreditation directly and indirectly. So want to thank everybody, and it's a fact of life. Any questions, comments? No? It's too quiet. Everybody's ready for tomorrow, for the food. Okay, we'll turn it back to Dr. Perez. It's all yours.
Good. I want to buy your ugly sweater, Danny. I think it might win after you have lunch and spill the ketchup. We will do that. Yes, the president's had an opportunity to chat with the chancellor last week regarding accreditation. He's asked for us to submit tomorrow. I'll be talking to the Accreditation Steering Committee, submit to him what our needs are for LA Mission College and all 9 campuses. So there's going to be a lot more dialogue between the district staff, or what they call the Educational Services Center staff, and us about what we need to get the self-studies done or self-evaluations done and be ready for the visit in fall 2016 is when we'll have the visit. No, spring 2016. That's right. I always, see, they keep me going here. Now I want to turn attention, there was some interest that we talk a little bit about our shared governance activities, which is really central to our planning of the entire campus. And I've asked Mary Lou Mendoza bravely to come up and kind of give you a quick report, because she chairs this task force for the College Council that kind of helps each shared governance committee monitor themselves as well as to evaluate themselves. So Mary Lou, if you don't mind.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to see all of you here today. All right. So let me just, the president already told you we oversee the function of the shared governance committees to ensure the continual productivity of the shared governance process. And our membership of the membership of the committee consists of 1 administrator, Joe Ramirez, 2 faculty members, Curtis Stage, chair of the multimedia, and Adam Serta, counselor of DSPS. And 1 classified, Patricia Huffman, accountant in administrative services, and myself, financial aid supervisor in the financial aid office. I represent the supervisory unit. And at the end of the spring semester, the 6 shared governance committees completed the self-evaluations. They evaluated themselves on their accomplishments and the prioritized goals for the prior year, and what their prioritized goals will be for this coming year. We also performed external evaluations during the summer, and those were presented to College Council. And you can see the self-evaluations and external evaluation on our website for the Shared Governance Oversight Committee. One of the things that was noted was that the committees were having difficulty with was membership and participation. So if anyone is interested, make sure you see your constituents or your representatives and let them know that you're interested in participating. And it's also important that you attend all the meetings if you plan to participate. That's one of the things that we really lack in. We also have a shared governance training video on our website. If you'd like to learn more about the process and how the committees are run, you're welcome to look at that. We will be doing some mid-year evaluations that'll be coming this coming month. The committees don't know that, but they'll be assigned in the next meeting. We're also finalizing our shared governance handbook, which will be done this week. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and the mission statement. The process will begin in March, so all the shared governance committees will be reviewing that, and they'll be notified by our committee that to place it on their agenda so it can be vetted. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Lou. That was fabulous. Wasn't that great? We will have a period for questions and answers at the end, so if you have things that are germinating in your mind, please feel free to ask. I really wanted Mary Lou to kind of give you that review because that task force actually has been very, very effective to help each shared governance committee, whether it be facilities, technology, EPC, educational planning, student services. All of these committees are not working as silos. They work together, and that's why we have the Shared Governance Task Force, to make sure we have that collaboration and standardization as we move forward. So again, Mary Lou, thank you so much and for your task force members. One other thing I wanted to mention is that the focus groups, there was a question, we had faculty focus groups 2 weeks ago on planning and governance, and a question was raised by some members saying, I don't know if they were a faculty group, but there were others that said, can I go to a shared governance committee meeting? And the answer is yes, they're open to everybody. You're welcome to come and be a guest and observe and learn how they are addressing all the issues on campus. I wanted to give you a quick overview of the bond construction program. As you know, we're ending the bond program, A, AA, and Measure J in 2016. We're going to close up all of the bond projects across the entire district, 9 campuses. We are just about 90% done with most of the things. We did have to put the student services building on hold because of lack of funds. All the campuses have had to do a reprioritization of what's available, the available money they have per campus, and we're all being held accountable for our amount that we were allocated and not to go over that amount. So we did do that, and we decided to put student services on hold, what they call a delayed project, in the event we have a new bond, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But we are, as you know, moving forward with the central plant, what we call the central energy plant. We have now a procurement for a design that's going to be put out. We have the funding in place to get us just about everything we need with that design, with the amount of money we have, to have a central plant. It'll be located where Wally is now, where the maintenance and operations people are located. They will be responsible to make sure that it's run properly, and it'll be hooked into all our buildings here on this campus, so we have central air and heating. It'll also contain what they call a fuel cell, or what some call the bloom box. And basically what that is it generates energy so that you don't need to bring electricity at a high level, particularly during a peak period, like if it's 100 degrees in Silmar and you need air conditioning at 3 o'clock. Department of Water and Power gouges you, if I may use that word, or raises the price. And so what you do is you save that energy for those peak periods, and you don't have to pay that higher bill. We are in desperate need of a central plant. We in Trade Tech for different reasons, do not have a central plant. And this is really hurting us. We have a very high utility bill. So we're moving very aggressively on getting us a central plant. We've been working on this since I've been here, but particularly the last 2 years to get us to this place. So if all goes well, design procurement goes out, designs procurement, 3 months later we get a bidder, and then we get started on building the central plant, which can be done within a 1-year period. So the sooner the better. The other is the Media Arts Building, our favorite building that we get to see as it slowly begins to be built. But you may see the construction workers now and then and doing things. The issue with the building is to continue to move forward with all of the construction resolutions that have been submitted by the engineer to the Department of State Architect. So we have by floor received each floor permission to do all of the fix-its, if you will, repairs, renovations, so that all the codes are being met. And that is a process. It's slowed down by the fact that all of this is being paid for by the insurance company, Hartford Insurance. So every time we have to do something, we need to get to the insurance company, who then has to approve it. And then there's always a conversation of, well, why don't you pay? No, I shouldn't pay. But we get through it. We have full-time people working, making sure those resolutions occur. So that's where we are with Media Arts. We're shooting for 2016. And our fingers are crossed that the building doesn't have any more issues as we continue to build. So that is a bit on the bond. Now, there has been discussion, but it has not been approved by the board, but there has been discussion that we may want to go for another bond in 2016. And we're kind of talking about $3 billion, a third of which goes to infrastructure, a third for modernization, and a third for buildings. In our case, infrastructure is really important. And so we want to do that, but also the student services building remains a priority, as well as athletic fields. So we're looking at all those now, and if indeed we float the bond, I will immediately involve the shared governance committees, the Senate, the College Council, the facilities about prioritization and how we go about making sure that we get the funds we need for the projects that we plan in the future. So that's the bond. Now I want to finish with one more thing. You may have received an email from Professor Pat Flood, and as you know, Sunshine is with us. And I decided to put this up here because she sent out an attachment of an example of what you need to turn in December 19th, which is your assessments for your student learning outcomes. And that's due on the 19th, and this is the way you can upload it, right, Pat? Upload it on the, using the computer system, the SLO system. She's giving you a course, Biology 006, the ILOs, which are the institutional learning outcomes at the top, the assessment information, and then the assessment descriptions. Then you take each criteria that you use and you give it the point systems that you can click. And exemplary, acceptable, and unacceptable. And then at the very right-hand corner you have the percentage of completion and a numeric that gives you whether they're acceptable or not. And then you have your analysis, where you analyze in a paragraph what this all means to you as a professor in this particular class. So there may be room in this. We were talking earlier, Pat, about what have we learned about pedagogy. If it has it changed some of our pedagogy, we need to capture some of that information. Right, Leslie? So this may be a place, and you'll be very helpful when you turn this in, to provide us that analysis. As you see here, they say the students assessed did extremely well, describing controversy and so forth. And then it goes into some of the issues with regard to what is needed at the bottom. While this is acceptable based on the rubric, several students really need improvement in this area. So there's still room for improvement. And so curriculum modification, yes. The instructions for the assignment will be modified by changing the 1,000-word minimum, 1,200 words. So that could be a pedagogical, perhaps. It's a little, it's, 1,000 to 1,200. You stretch it out, maybe pedagogy might fit in there. But the idea being, if there are issues or areas that students can improve that are pedagogical in nature, that changing your pedagogy or your methodology, that would be helpful for us. So December 19th, upload it, and then the chairs are going to put it together by January 9th. Okay, great. I think, so questions and answers. It's time now for any questions you have on any topic, not just these. Any questions? Y'all going to the holiday party? Good. Yes, Leslie.
Going back to the bond program, and I know we're closing out our bond program. And I asked this at College Council a couple weeks ago. The projects that are completed, but were actually not completed, at East Campus, for example, there were things that were supposed to be done with fencing and landscaping that were not completed. Are we to assume that that's not going to happen?
Excellent question. The answer is no. Those are in the budget still, and whatever the project we had moved forward with, say in your case, the East Campus, will be completed. For instance, one of the projects is interconnection between the Health, Fitness, Athletic Complex building and the Center for Math and Science to interconnect their central plant or their heating and cooling. That's going to happen. So no, we reserve we reserve those dollars. They're there. Yes, Professor Raskin.
This building, how's it?
Yeah. You missed my 2-minute overview of that, but yeah, it's okay. It's moving forward, but not as fast as we'd like because of the resolution of repairs, or rather fix-its, that we have to do for the building require Department of State architect approvals each step of the way. And then it requires who pays for it, and the insurance company and us go back and forth on that. So it's taking more time than we want, but it will be built. It is being built. And the construction contractor, Kemp, is very good. So they're cooperating with us every step of the way. Suzanne.
This is related to the bond issue also. I was wondering, what's the process by which the new central plant bids are going to be evaluated, and who makes those decisions for approval?
Okay, you all heard the question, the process of bidding for the construction of the central plant. We're going to do a design build. So the designers are part of the company. If I think I'm correct on that, Danny, it's a design build is the last conversation we had, because so whoever puts for the design will build it. So they own it. They own the design and the building of it. So that'll be put out for bid for reputable companies that do that kind of work, particularly central plant work. And then the decision is going to be made by a member of our college and a technical team. So that would include Wally and Danny, and but the central plant design is something that we'll all look at. We'll all know what it's going to look like. The design is constrained by the dollars. If we had $25 million, we could have a beautiful central plant. But we have about $13 million. So we're going to build something that will work, that could be built as we grow, can even grow with it, but it's not going to have all the bells and whistles that we would have liked, which is a new building for Wally and his crew. So my kudos to the maintenance and operations staff. You guys are wonderful, because you're going to be in the same building for a little while. We're going to do some repairs and renovation, but the idea was to give you a brand new building if we could, and we can't. So we're moving forward with the project. I think I saw a hand over here. Yes, Dorothy.
Thank you, Dr. Perez. It's wonderful that we're growing, We have more students, we're going to be hiring more faculty, but I don't believe I heard anything about hiring more support staff, permanent employees. We've had a lot of people who've transferred or retired and their positions were closed. What are the plans to hire more?
Excellent point. We have been looking at our complement in terms of staffing, and we do know that in some areas we're understaffed. Now, fortunately, we did hire in Rosalie's area, admissions and records, we did hire another evaluator. And then in student services, Vice President Ramirez is working on hiring additional people there I forgot the specific student services representative, staff person. We know an assessment center, which is now under Vice President Ellen, we're hiring an assessment assistant or assistant for assessment. So we are beginning to hire those particular pockets because of high need, but you're right. We need to look at the growth of the campus and make sure that we have proper support for our students and our staff and faculty. So the staffing is an important issue. And I'm always open to recommendations from 1521A about that. So, and I do meet with Milagro and I also meet with Faculty Guild and we have joint consultation with all the unions once a month to kind of continue that dialogue about what are our needs and where the areas that are most in need. How do we move forward with that? Yes, Margie.
This may seem like a minor thing to you, but when will the restrooms be finished in Building 1000?
Okay, well, we get that question a lot. And I apologize for the inconvenience also for some of you who are next to these restrooms while they're being built. Wally has assured me that Masters, the company that is contracted to do it, is on an aggressive schedule, and he's continued to monitor them. Part of the problem was, if you recall, I think we're catching up now, and we're gonna get much more aggressive on the schedule. But part of the problem was, if the last 6 months we had a change in our college project management. District has centralized a lot of that activity. We lost Gateway Science and Engineering. They competed. They did not get selected. We then had to get a new college project manager. He just started 2 weeks ago. So he's learning our college and how we work. Fortunately, we got James Anderson back, who's part of the team, and he knows us very well. So the new guy is a guy by the name of Haas, and Leslie loves his name, Haas Nabai, and he's been working closely with Wally. So we think he's catching up now, and we'll make sure these things get done. So I will check with our staff on that and get back to you, and everybody else, give you a bit of a timeline about the restrooms. Yeah, you're right, you're right. Other questions? Yes, Donna.
You mentioned the athletic fields and the student services building. Any chance a library will happen?
Yes, again, I think we need to take it to the campus and go through our process of prioritization. You know, that did go by my mind, and I slipped by not mentioning. The library renovation has been fully designed, and it's been fully approved by the Department of State Architects. Excuse me. So that's one where, just like student services, that's one where you could just take it off the shelf and boom, get started. So yes, that will be part of the mix and the conversation as we look at our dollars and make sure that, you know, we have that conversation. There's no doubt that we want our library to be top-notch for our students and our faculty and staff. So yeah, it will be part of that conversation. Yes, Adrian.
Until the new bond measure kicks in, that'll probably be a couple of years from now, and that's too far for the SBS. And I wonder if we can tap into some of the money that was geared to the well, not really DSPS, but more of the Student Services Building. And what my point is to modernize our office, and there's some computers outdated, software require more operating system, and so I wonder if we can tap into that now, which we still have 10% that is left for the bond, if any.
Okay, good point. As far as the technology issue, we did have a conversation I did with Danny, because technology and Rod Austria. Is Rod here? I thought he's the new IT director. I had a conversation with both of them about that issue, about the software, the DSPS, the needs, all of that. So we think we have a plan to start addressing that. As far as the facilities are concerned, I'm open to whatever the needs are. So I think perhaps Wally, we can have Adrian present to the facilities committee and you and give us some ideas about what their needs are. And then let's meet we meet every 2 weeks. We have a facilities, I have a meeting every 2 weeks with all of the bond activity. But Wally, your facilities committee meets once a month. When does it meet? Okay, second Monday of every month, 12:30. You should go to them with your plan, and then Wally then can take it to the next level. Okay? Yeah, let's do that. Yes. Oh boy, you're going to make me work out today. This is all good though.
Thank you. The CalWorks office is supposed to be relocated to Instructional 107, and it's been approved. It has gone through all the levels of approval, through facilities and planning, through review process, back from 2009. And it's been 5 years. And that prevents us from hiring a counselor because we have to make sure we have an enclosed office for a counselor. I'm not even talking about providing privacy for students that we are mandated based on our county contract. So is that still in a game for us moving to that instruction 1007? Or if you could please update us on that.
Thank you. I'm going to turn this over to Danny. It's time for you to get ketchup on your sweater.
I don't know. No, that is underway. That was a part of a number, and Wally, correct me if I'm wrong, that was submitted to DSA on the same, they call it a ticket. So we have gotten everything back. It was approved a while back. There were some slight modifications we did to one of the rooms that's not yours, but we weren't going to make it into what we originally thought, and we were just going to make it into a nice room. I anticipate, once again, I want to stress, the changing over from Gateway to the current structure did really put things on a moratorium and a holding pattern for a lot of these things. So Haas, the new director over there, is really getting his hands around these things. So frustration, absolutely. Walking by there not knowing what's going on, absolutely. We're at the point now that we're trying to get more clear information and more realistic dates on these things, but I anticipate that being done next year. Am I wrong, Wally? By mid next year, you should be in. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to start it. Once again, it was part of what they call a ticket, where you submit a bunch of things and then they get it back to you, whether it's just sent singular, and that takes time. So if something's going on with something that doesn't affect you, which it didn't, we just have to sit and wait. It's unfortunate, but that's the way submittals are done to DSA.
Okay, so you heard that, but hold us accountable. If things are moving and you got your fingers crossed, and some prayers would be nice also. Any other questions? Okay, well, again, I want to thank you all for attending. It's been a heck of a good year, actually. Not just the fall semester, but the whole year. We're ending with such positive strength and energy. I know we're going to carry that into 2015, and I know with your help and the community knows this as we are looked at, that we're going to go beyond excellence. We're going to be the leaders. We're going to be those that people are going to want to emulate. So that's my goal for this campus, and especially for our students. So thank you all. Have a great day.